good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to our Friday morning show, The Career Success with Adrian and Yen.
Hi, morning everybody, and happy Friday.
We are the career strategists, Adrian and Yen, and we are here to provide career clarity so that you can enjoy career success that's meaningful to you.
And the best part is we get to say the things that most people cannot say because they have to be politically correct.
We are
and we'll tell
not.
it like it is.
Yeah, that's right. So for those of you who are listening to us on Spotify, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever or whenever you are. And thank you for subscribing to us because our listenership on that platform is growing. So
Yes,
exciting.
It is. It is fun. Yes.
Yeah, and it's a lovely Friday here and in our office studio. And this week is going to be something really, really interesting.
Yeah, I think our listeners can see that there's been some. Oh no, sorry, our listeners cannot see, but our viewers can see that there's been some differences in our setup. And now I've got these new headphones. I hope it improves our sound quality.
It does. And,
I think it does.
Yeah, and I love it because, and I was just saying, you should get the cat ear things
Yeah, I
for the
think
next episode.
that'd be really cool.
If you think she should get the cat ears thing, for the
cat
next
ear
episode,
headphones. No.
click a like and I'll make sure she gets enough likes.
It's way to go in helping me reduce my
Credibility in the market.
Absolutely.
By the way, today's episode is going to be a bit lighter, and because we've been having pretty heavy episodes in the past, content heavy episodes.
Yeah, I think we've got some feedback. I mean, people are very curious about our evolution, and where our origins are and what brought us to where we are today. I think over the years we have shared some snippets, but today maybe we can go on a deep dive as to where we've been and what we're doing.
So for today, we actually asked our listeners to send in questions about ourselves that you always wanted to know or always wanted to ask, but never had the chance to ask.
And I think a lot of our clients as well, they're probably interested in what makes us unique in our ability to give advice if they're not sure if whether we've been through a similar experience. And so in the world of careers, lots of people go through many obstacles, and somehow we relate or we've been in that situation before, so we're able to help them and kind of give them perspective. So it'll be nice for us to share a little bit more about your evolution and mine, and how we came to
how we got here, basically. So today it's no BS day. We're just going to share with you right off the cuff. There's no script, but then we never have a script.
There's no.
But it's just straight from the heart.
We have no BS anyway.
Yeah, I know. So this is the part where I break out into Brian Adams straight
Please
from the
not.
heart. But no, I won't. Singing on this show is taboo because I'm not tone deaf, but I sing as though I'm tone deaf. So nobody wants to hear that.
No,
It's too
I don't
painful.
want to hear that either.
So one of the first questions we always get, we've been in career agility has been around since 2017, 2018, all the way till now. We had very humble origins from a small, tiny little operations in Gyeongsek. When we first started.
Oh my God, Gyeongsek. I totally forgot. It was a desk.
It was a desk. That's how we started. But we've grown, and it's been an amazing journey. And right now we have listeners as far as Europe. We have listeners as far as in Japan and in the US as well. So it's been an amazing journey. But one question, we always get this question: how did you guys meet?
Yeah, and everyone seems to think we're married. We're married, but not to each other.
Not to each other.
Yeah. I think we met when I was I was the chairman of the computer club.
We were classmates in BZ, weren't we?
We weren't classmates. I don't think we shared any classes.
We were schoolmates in BZ.
Different.
What was your major?
Marketing.
Well, so was mine. Never saw you in any of my marketing classes.
No, because I think you did different mods in different times. But we overlapped in the computer club, and of all the things, right? Quick story. I was brought up to always fix my weaknesses. I was always figuring out what I needed to improve on and then just focus on them far too much. Back then, what I did was to figure out I hated technology, I hated IT. So I said, okay, I need to go join the computer club to at least understand what computers do. And they made me chairman. Holy crap, and I still can't connect wires.
Yeah, so good folks. Yeah, she is not the computer IT person here, okay?
That's him. He's the computer IT person.
So her only solution is, have you tried rebooting it? And that's her only solution which she has.
And the only thing I remember was turning the mouse upside down and having to clean
the ball,
the trackball of the mouse
for
a lab that had 50 PCs.
No, that's even dumber because I remember people were just somehow stealing the balls.
You know what?
And you guys went to super glue the cover, so that no
so
one
that we
stole the
can
balls,
clean.
and then nobody could clean it. It was,
But hey, the computer club was the only CCA that made money.
yeah, I still remember.
We were in the black.
And we were making good money. We were making bank as well. Because I remember we were being paid $7 an hour to run the printing room.
Yes,
For
and
volunteers.
the
So-
printing room is just daylight robbery because it's 5 cents a sheet.
And this was 1993, 5 cents. So
You just revealed our age. Thank
yeah,
you
we
very
are.
much.
We're ancient. We're Jurassic. She had a pet dinosaur. So when she was a kid, but you know, it's that's how we met. We met in the US.
Yes, it's a long time ago.
Yeah, and
And then we kind of had parallel lives.
Yeah.
And Ping was
Ping's my wife.
Ping was my classmate back in JC.
Junior college, yeah.
It was a long time ago. So we're in the same circles.
Yeah, so we bumped into each other back in a couple of times, but we bumped into each other
in the headhunting business.
Yeah.
I was at Morgan and Banks then,
Yeah.
and then you came in
Yeah,
for
I
a
was
meeting, and then I think we ran into each other again.
a couple of times. Yeah.
But we only really became professionally connected when we worked in a career transition outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were at Leac Harrison, and I was there for
I
about
was-
3.5 years.
you were full-time.
3 years. I was full time.
You
Yeah,
were full-time.
you were the senior coach.
I was a califair.
Yeah.
I was a portfolio careerist at the
Mm-hmm.
time, focusing on supporting clients as and when it happened. So I worked on a project basis.
So when I exited the company in 2017, end 2017, and I started Career Agility International, and I said, hey, come join us, come join, and that's how the origin story began. So we've known each other for a very, very long time, and the past 5 years, we're turning 5 already.
Nope.
That's
It's been
25.
very
It's been
quickly. But yesterday we were talking to a friend and she said that she graduated in 2016.
So
And I'm
yeah,
thinking that's quite recent. No, it's not. 16. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
My brain is not math. I cannot math.
No, I still am so amazed that 1983 is 40 years ago. So
1983 was when I discovered Michael Jackson.
yeah, it was 40
Yeah.
years ago. So anyway, okay, let's not date
Anyway.
ourselves anymore. But it's an amazing ride, and so that's how we got to know each other. And we started small, and we've grown bigger. And right now, we are what we are, and we are amazing. It's been amazing because we've been helping a lot of people, and in the
Yeah.
meantime, even as we're helping people, we've been entertaining a lot of people with a lot of our stories, and we've been having the ball of a time.
It's really fun. I think we share very similar values. We work very well together because there's a certain, I guess, similarity in the way we approach a lot of our life issues. We're very attuned. We have the same frequency, kind of, but obviously we have different perspectives on a lot of the issues.
So our
So
clients
our
who come to us,
two in one kind of
Approach,
coach
Yeah,
is very unique in the market, and our clients have really benefited from it.
yeah, they have, and that's been fun. So, long story short, that's how we met, and that's how we started Career Agility. And it's been fun, and I think this is something we can do like forever.
Yeah, it's a great retirement job.
Yeah.
No overt stress, no corporate politics.
And it's enjoyable.
There's no-
well, we'll be expanding next year.
no
so I think
pressure
that's,
on numbers because I don't have to work if I don't want to work. I'm kidding.
it's
a very healthy place to be, I think.
it is.
Where
It
we
is.
do
But
we
next
do
year,
the work because we want
caution,
to.
Caution. Next year, we're going to expand. We're going to go bigger. So
I will try my best to pace us.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, that's been fun. So
That's our disagreement right there.
This question came in from one of our listeners. How did you get started in career coaching?
So I was headhunting for a good 2 to 3 years already at that point, and I realized that I was just giving up a lot of advice to candidates,
Free advice.
job seekers. Well, I wanted to place them.
Yeah.
And so I would help them. I would help them brush up their resumes, and I mean, after a while, I got really good at it. And then I was helping them with, coaching them on how to answer interview questions better, just so that they can fall in love with the hiring manager, or the hiring manager will fall in love with them, and then they can sign a contract. And so because of that, and as you know, one of the things that we always espouse is self-improvement, consistent self-improvement. So I was always looking for things to study, and I found a coaching outfit that would give me that certification, and that's how I started in career coaching while headhunting.
What year was that? That was in
2003, 2004.
Okay, that is an early start. So congratulations, this is your 20th anniversary.
Exactly. And I have gotten more and more certifications since as well.
Yeah, and she's
So
and
there
she's
are
written books
multiple
as well, and all sorts of fun. So the thing I like about career consulting and career advisory service in the business industry is that the older you get, the more cases you handle, the better you get at it. There's more context, there's more experience, there's more stories behind it, and the advice gets better. So you've had 20 years of that, and that's been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've met all sorts of people, and because
good,
in
the bad, and the
the work I do, I look after individuals from 26 years old, the youngest person I've helped to look after and place, to the oldest, to 67. I also help to look after and place. And so what I want to do now is turn the tables around to Adrian and go okay, so how did you get into career coaching?
Well, I think it all started from headhunting. So
Same.
I started up in 2003, 2004ish, and I had a career crossroad in my very early young age, in the early 30s. And I was thinking, what's a field I can go into that leverages my strengths, which is selling, which is talking to people, meeting people, business development, as well as my interest and passion, which is careers. So it was a natural confluence of needs, wants, interests, and I decided, hey, headhunting will be interesting. So I got into headhunting, and as I was doing a lot of C-suite level headhunting, and I found that I was both learning from the candidates I was placing and interviewing, as well as they were seeking advice from me. And I was realizing actually this is the part which I enjoy the most. So I had a fantastic run during the best years of headhunting. Those were the good years, remember, when it was really good money.
Yeah.
And in 2012, I decided that I wanted to pivot out of something else, something different. And that was when I decided that what could I do? I wanted to go into executive coaching, but I felt that that was not something I was going to be great at. Leadership coaching, I can lead, but I don't like leading. So I decided, okay, what can I do then? Then let's move into something that's adjacent. And that's how I got into career coaching. But that's where I decided that, okay, fine, let's do career coaching. And in 2012, I said to myself, there's going to be a time where people will pay for career coaching. Pure form, just pay. Not company sponsored, but self. And when I went around and told people about it, they all said, you're ridiculous, stupid idea. Okay. I still remember one of my ex-bosses actually told me, in the headhunting business, you can go and try it, but when you fail, you can come crawling back to me. And I said, over my dead body, okay, I'll crawl over to you when you're going to drag me through a whole glass of a field of broken glass and rusty nails before I would
never
come
crawl
back to you. I would never crawl back. So, and those guys are retired now because there's no business for them. So anyway, that's how I pivoted into career coaching. And the interstitial period, the transition period, was when I joined Leah Harrison, when I learned to run the business, grow the business in a coaching environment. Then that's how I ended up in career coaching, career advisory. It's been a journey.
You're right that people will pay for coaching. Coaching has come into its own.
Yeah, it has.
Everyone's realizing now the benefit of having a third-party objective soundboard to help validate decisions, to just talk things out. Because the inherent rule of coaching is that the individual has the wisdom.
Yeah.
They just needed something to validate them and to sort of recalibrate their perspectives just a little bit.
Just small nudges, different perspectives. Confession time. Back in 2015, 2016, I didn't have the confidence to coach. I mean, I could give advice, but I didn't have the confidence to coach, especially for very senior folks. And even when I first started out, it just didn't have the confidence. And
you didn't show it.
Yeah, no, but I just didn't. But over time, I realized that the older you get, the better you get, the more confidence you get, right?
Yeah, you get life experience.
Get life experience. And today we have CEOs as clients.
Yes.
They come to us, they talk to us, they share their innermost concerns, their dreams, and how we can help them to achieve it.
Yep.
But what was interesting is that when I look back, it's been a journey of growth. Now, next question we're going to have is this. What do you love most about your job?
So what do I love most about my job? In addition to all the wonderful peripheral advantages like meeting interesting people and having the pride of solving a complex case or seeing our clients succeed, above and beyond that, it's control over my time, autonomy, and I think knowing that it's something I can do well. So I think the biggest thing that I love about what I do today is control.
Yeah.
So that's my answer. What about you? What do you love most about your job?
Well, besides the ability to help people and change lives and all the usual corny stuff, right? Everyone tells you, I think the diversity of cases that we get. Like just the week before last, we had a case where an individual came in and wanted to get advice about investment because there was an equity offer on the table. So I sat down together with him, and we worked out the numbers, and it was a real fun intellectual exercise. And then we get situations, not just the usual job hunting. We get situations where an individual, like just 2 days ago, I was talking to this person as well, and she said she wanted to downshift. And I was wondering, why you want to downshift? She was a middle manager, she wanted to downshift. And she was 38, which is the point in time where most people want to accelerate because that's where the peak earning capabilities are, right? She wanted to downshift. And when we dug further, it was because she was overworked. And I said, no, it's not about moving from a manager to an executive position. It's about getting a better job.
Yeah.
In another company with better structure, better team. Half a team had resigned because of the work, and she was covering everybody's work. So the discussion went away from a job search more to a how do we manage. So that's what I love about this job, because it's diverse.
It's intellectually stimulating.
Yes.
Every day is different.
Yeah, I love the variety of it. And I think the other thing that I love about this job is that it allows us to form very good bonds of friendship with the clients.
So Adrian, what do you dislike most about your current job?
Well, I wouldn't say dislike as in intensely hate, but one of the things I wish that drains me is that this job is very emotionally draining. It's very intense. When you sit down for 2.5 hours with a client, and you sit down and you do a deep dive, it's very mentally exhausting. I can do about one of those in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Then I'm spent. And I go to spend the rest of my time either recovering, and then when I go back home, after a full day of coaching, it's just very mentally exhausting. I have no idea how psychiatrists do this.
Yeah. It's called transference, and I think boundaries are important.
Yeah.
So you don't absorb the energy of the person you're helping.
Yeah, but intellectually, because a lot of times you're even if the person's talking, you're not just listening, you're processing, and the cogs in your mind, the windmills are just keep going round and round and round. And you're processing.
Yeah.
It gets exhausting. I love it, but it's just
it's
exhausting.
Active listening is hard.
Yes.
Active listening, picking out the necessary points, observing how they're saying it, figuring out what's going on,
and what's unsaid.
Diagnosis.
Yeah, what's unsaid.
Yeah,
right? Not just what's being said.
It's a muscle.
It's a muscle. I love doing it, but it is exhausting.
Don't you wish you had like a USB port? You can just like charge it and put it into a plug.
How I wish I had a USB port on the client, plug it in, and then download it, and it processes everything. And this is your answer. These are the 5 steps you need to do. So I think that's the only thing that I would be. Yeah, if I had to change, I wish. You see, the irony of it is, if I was a younger guy with a lot of energy, I could do this. But if I was a younger guy, I wouldn't have the knowledge and the wisdom and life experience to run it.
Yeah.
So that's the irony of it.
The thing about the individual, it's actually very tough if they're not telling you the whole truth, or they're trying to prevaricate, or there's a little bit of resistance.
But sometimes they don't know.
They don't know.
It's the ego talking. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to get them to either drop the ego, not out of malice, but it's a defense mechanism.
It is.
And sometimes we get clients who what we refer to as we got to talk them off the ledge.
Yeah.
Because they're already out, they're so emotionally triggered, and they just I want to resign, but resigning is not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So we got to talk them off the ledge. So it's a fun practice that we have, requiring many various skills.
fun.
Yeah, for me, it's fun because of the diversity of cases, as I said.
And
earlier.
also, you're an intellectual, so you really enjoy the mental gymnastics that happen, and that's why diversity of cases,
Yeah.
appeals to you. Figuring out a new problem, I was like, whoa, this is unique.
Yeah.
This is something I haven't heard of. But other than that, you're thinking, oh gosh, no one's got any more original thoughts, or no one's got an original problem for me to solve. That's very you. Yeah.
That's why I love about it. So, no, how about you? Yeah. What do you dislike about the work that you do?
It's not me specifically, and it's like you said, while we're trying to be diplomatic and kind here, it's not something I intensely dislike either. But I really wish that our cases would not be so urgent.
Oh yes,
So
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I get a lot of cases where, when you, like to your point about talking someone off the ledge, that means they've been percolating like a very bitter pot of coffee for a while now. I really wish they'd come to us earlier, because with a longer runway, we have time and bandwidth to preempt some of the outcomes.
Yeah.
And I think it's tough when they say the year comes to a close and a lot more people come with urgent situations. And we know that the market maybe doesn't necessarily support a spate of hiring. And so they end up in a situation where they're in limbo a lot longer. And I feel for them. And at the same time, I feel this urgent pressure that's coming from them. And I wish I could do more, but I can't. It sounds cliche, that I really do want to help these people, but please don't wait until it rains to fix your roof. It's not healthy. So I love clients who have a runway and they see the train
So
right.
for you, it's the urgency.
I don't like being forced. I don't like being.
Yeah, you're
hurried.
right. And it's also because when you're in a situation where things are urgent, your options are more limited than if you were not urgent. Because
And the thing is, because of the urgency, sometimes the suggestions are less than ideal.
yeah.
And because of that, they can come around and say, hey, your advice isn't working. Why am I not getting any hits? And it's not about that. It takes time. I think in any strategic move, there is a life cycle. And it takes time for you to plant the flags, and then you've got to sow the seeds in a while. So I don't like the rushing. I don't know what it is, but I think a lot of our clients, I'm hearing this feedback, by the way, so don't shoot me. They all seem to think I have a magic answer to everything, or that I have the powers of prediction.
Magic 8 Ball. Let's get a Magic 8 Ball.
They go like, how can I answer this better? And I go, wow.
Magic 8 Ball.
I can tell you what the model answer could be, but I cannot control your interviewer. And I sometimes will do the matrix, like, here's the green pill. If you take this, you'll exit the matrix. So I don't know if I'm getting the story wrong, but whatever it is, I sometimes wish I had a magic wand as well. But life doesn't work that way. So don't make decisions in a rush.
Don't make decisions in a rush. In fact, the best time, like what you said, the best time to fix a roof is when it's not raining. So, and you can always come in for a career health check.
Yeah, and that's why
book an appointment
you're
with
right.
us.
You're right. And so I'm interrupting you now because my train has just entered the station.
Yeah.
That's why we created our career clinics, the one-off, so that we can help you before you embark on this larger journey, and just to give you some perspective.
Yeah. And that's where we come in to help you with the perspective, with new ideas and new thoughts. And it doesn't really need to be a 3-month or 6-month program.
It doesn't need to be overly expensive.
Yeah, so just come in, talk to us. We charge very reasonable rates for single sessions.
We call it career clinics.
Yeah.
Just a single session, get some perspective.
book
If you
us.
need more, let us know. If you don't, that's fine, because gosh, go be successful.
Yeah. So
I'm
if
happy,
you,
because I can do less work.
and if you need any information, just drop us an email at info@careeragility.org. And we're always here for you.
Exactly. Okay. So what's our next question?
So I think this conversation has shifted a little bit more to a personal level. And this question was brought up by one of our listeners who was, interestingly, a psychologist. And she wanted to get inside to see what...
The Freudian part of us.
Yeah. And this is really interesting. So you want to answer this or you answer this
Well,
first?
I don't know. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's go.
See.
Now, what role did your parents play in influencing your career decisions? Yeah.
That's a really, really important and something that we can deep dive into if and when we have time with our clients as well. Because sometimes understanding our upbringing helps us see an individual's frame of reference and mindset. And so how we keep focusing perhaps on our weaknesses rather than our strengths, as an example. So what role did my parents play in influencing my career decision?
Yes, what role did your parents play?
My parents both worked outside the home. So I was very fortunate to watch an executive mom. Her role was administrative, but she's always worked. And she also brought home the bacon. My dad traveled a lot in his work, and he was a high flyer. And so it's something you observe, right? You watch our parents. I made a decision to study a business course. And at the end of my business education, I just applied to companies that came on campus.
Okay.
And I asked my dad for his advice. And he very just flippantly said, it doesn't matter what you start with. Just take any job that comes along because you have a lifetime to make changes.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Unfortunately, he was giving me advice based on his reference.
Yeah, his mental model.
And his mental model, and given that he is a baby boomer, that careers were
Fixed.
whatever.
Yeah.
You were loyal to an organization until a certain point.
That was the operating system in the old days.
But that's not the case
Not
for
anymore.
him. He had some 6 job changes in his lifetime, and very successfully, I might add. The difference though was that he was kind of dismissive about my choices. And I thought about it, and I said, okay, well, I've got this offer. And I called a friend who already joined a year earlier, and his response was, yeah, it's okay. So I thought, well, if I can take this job, then I can go off on a holiday, because the offer came in before we graduated, about 3 months ahead of time. So as a campus recruit, you take the offer, you go off on your holiday,
you
you go
come
on
back
a
and you start
vacation,
work,
and
yeah.
you come back and you start work. So again, I was very myopic in my decisions. And so TLDR, my parents didn't really help in my first decision choice, because if I thinking back, I probably wouldn't have accepted that offer.
Okay.
Because I don't align to technology very well, but it was a tech company, and then I joined IBM, and I did not understand a single thing that I was selling.
Computer, box, flashing lights,
Errors, 404, green screen. It was a tough first couple of years, and I knew it just didn't fit. It wasn't bad, but
Okay,
could have been
that's
better.
fine. That's a nice story.
So anyway, turning back to I know it's a long story, but I needed to explain, a little bit more about the
background.
parents.
Which is interesting because a lot of our choices we make in our careers, subconsciously we don't realize it, but it's also because of our upbringing and everything.
Definitely plays a huge part in influencing your decisions. So I want to turn it back to you. Adrian.
So
Okay,
for myself,
your parents.
there are 2 elements to it. Okay, number 1 is I very early in my career. So my mom was a homemaker. She took care of all of us, and I found that she grounded us. My dad worked in Standard Chartered Bank, entry-level job, humble, simple guy, all his life. So we didn't grow up rich. We grew up fairly in those of the days where even if you had an entry-level job, you could still afford things because he was cheap. Not like today, it's crazy. But I was talking to my son. I said, those days petrol was still like about 18 cents a liter. Oh, God, what are the days? But anyway. So that worked. Mom stayed at home to look after us, and I found that grounded us. That's why, and I looked at my other friends who were much richer than me. Okay, pilots, dad, banker. One, I still remember there's this snobby kid who used to say, "What do you mean your dad's just a bank clerk?" But when I looked at them, they didn't have that family life. The parents were all working and everything. And very early in my life, I said to myself, I don't want that. Work-life balance was very important for me. So in one way, my family unit molded my value system in terms of focusing on family more than commercial success or money. So that's where I guess in a way it's affected me in terms of my career decision, family. So the other part of it is that my dad retired when I was about 12 years old. So financially we were not stable. So my mom gave tuition Okay, and she had a pretty good practice, and it fed us all for many, many years. Sent my older brother through medical school and everything. So we're pretty okay. But I always grew up in an environment where I was financially insecure, and I find that in primary school I actually gave tuition. No, secondary school, I was giving tuition to primary school kids. So I kind of had my own discretionary income all the way up, and I was starting businesses here and there and everything. So the family environment molded me to more an entrepreneurial, independent mindset. And that's why my options were always about getting that career independence, the career security rather than just a job security. So that area has molded me in the direction.
Yeah, and you would start accumulating your freedom funds way ahead of time because of that.
And it's not the best idea, honestly, because it's always put me on a very defensive mode. Okay, until I had the confidence to run my own business, right? So in terms of how my parents influenced me, I think my mom definitely influenced me in terms of the work-life balance element of it. My dad, seeing him had to grind, right? Gave me the idea that I really needed to have that longevity. I really needed to have that skill set to call my own, so that I do not be dependent on a single company. And interestingly, my first major business I started was selling skeletons. You remember? So I sold human skeletons to medical students when I was 19. Okay, I was in the army. So it was the first major business I did. And I remember telling my mom, I said, "Hey, Mom, I'm going to start a business." And the first response she said was, "You want to go bankrupt, ah?" And negativity came up, but because these people were not entrepreneurs.
Or her frame of reference were individuals she knew who had businesses that did not survive.
Yeah. So it's just interesting because that's why I always say the successful entrepreneurs you see today, a lot of them come from entrepreneurial families.
Or they already have it in their blood.
They have it in their blood, yeah. The DNA.
It's not genetic, but the thought process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or parents' capital. Or
Right,
parents'
that helps.
networks,
Yes.
to help. Like the same way if my kids were to say, "I'll start a business," say, "Okay, here, how much do you need?" It's same for you, right?
Seed funding. if
Seed
you
funding.
want.
How much you need? Let me start let me be your seed investor. So I think they have a benefit to it. But that's how I started out my entrepreneurial streak. That's how I started out my work-life balance. And I didn't realize this until I was much older. And when I reflect, actually, these are the quiet ways which parents didn't really actively tell you, go be a doctor, lawyer.
Yeah. And in many ways, we are now advising our clients to show their kids, their children, what it means to be resilient at work. So don't bring your stress home. At least be aware of how you are being perceived or watched by your children. And they absorb a lot of what we do.
They do.
Our thought process, our way of talking. Have you ever met someone and then you met their children and the children sounds exactly like them?
For good or for bad?
Both.
Fun story, okay? We had I got this friend, a British friend, and he was doing okay. And after the holidays were over, we went back to school, and his 7-year-old daughter came back, and no, she was 5-year-old at the time. And the daughter, she was talking to the dad, and she told her dad, Cindy from school, Cindy is this classmate whose parents are very rich and successful. Said, she asked me where I went for my holiday, and I said, we went over to back home in the UK, it was London. And she asked me, Dad, she asked me, hey, do you guys fly first class? And she said, no, we flew economy. Oh, that's how the poor people travel. Coming from a 5-year-old kid. And can you imagine, she obviously didn't get that from anywhere else apart from her parents, right? So can you imagine that's how the poor people travel? Okay, so economy all the time. Yeah, I'm the poor people. So
Economy makes sense because we optimize our trips.
it's crazy.
Stretch your dollar.
I only travel
can
business
do
when
other
it's on a company dime or when you got enough points from the company dime to upgrade the flights. Oh, sorry, I'm a peasant.
Yeah, I mean, we all are.
Yeah,
the
but it's
majority
funny,
of
right?
us.
But it's hilarious to see someone at that age go
With a comment. And
a comment like
a
that. It's a
comment
throwaway
that-
comment, but it reflects.
It's a passing remark that reflects, in fact, where they got it from, which is from the parents.
yeah, which are bad values.
So it is not nice. So as we're talking about the role our parents play, it's nice to kind of reflect about our origins, but also more importantly, don't let this be your crutch as an excuse.
yeah, for whatever it
My
is.
upbringing was like this, and therefore it's all my mother's fault. And no.
Yeah.
No. The awareness helps us, and then we need to figure out an action plan and some scaffolding to help us to rethink the way we approach life.
Yeah, if you have a career situation like that, we can help you with your career situation. But if you do have mommy or daddy issues, we recommend you talk to Dr. Jerry Lee from
Yes, or a
the
therapist.
therapy room. Yeah, she's really good at that.
This
So-
is for the Singapore listeners, but for everyone else, there are many other online therapy support structures that you
I
can
agree.
consider.
I agree. So these are things that, but these are interesting questions that a lot of times we are not aware of, but it does affect us on a certain particular level.
Yeah, let's go. Next question.
Next question is this, Ian. What career move do you wish you had made differently?
It's not huge, but like I said earlier, joining IBM was a little bit of a misfit. I joined a large entity with so hierarchical, and being very green, you don't know head or tail. You just look at humans and you like, we're colleagues, but I don't know you because company was huge. I
can imagine. It's monolithic.
I didn't
It's-
have clear KPIs. I didn't know what was going on. There was a lot of training, but it was blur for the bulk of the first year. By second year, I kind of figured it out, and I'm like, no, this is not something
for
I
you.
can see for
Not
me
for
for the long run. But one of the things that I did correctly is knowing that I never wanted to stop the communications bit. Remember, in an earlier story, I said I chose
Your first role in IBM was sales, right?
sales.
So it was not in Marcom or anything else.
It wasn't.
Sales.
It wasn't. It was a sales role, and I think that's where a lot of people start anyway.
Yeah.
In a lot of organizations, when an organization has headcount, where do you put the people in sales most of the time?
In sales.
So remember in the earlier question you asked about the parents, and then I studied the communications thing. So I didn't study my communications at undergrad.
Yeah, you
but
did
I
it in masters,
eventually
right?
did it. I did because again it's a first love that you don't want to let go of. And so by the time I graduated from the course, then I had an option, and that was the first crossroad, which wasn't really a crossroads,
Yeah.
this little speed bump. And I had two offers at that point, and I knew that I couldn't go to PR because by then as salespeople we earn a lot more money.
Yeah, that's right.
And so so the
Commission.
quick
Ka-ching.
the TLDR, the quick and dirty answer to the question is, if I done the communications a little bit earlier, I would have probably been in some kind of PR job or an advertising role or something that was more aligned to my nature. But that didn't happen, and so this is the path that happened. And I think we went full circle a little bit. Yeah. But the first job did in fact cement in my soul the sales. And unfortunately it did not go away. But fortunately everything in life is sales oriented. So I am happy about the journey. It's just a matter of perhaps it's just a path. It's a path that happens. So again, looking back and wishing you could turn back the clock is not healthy. That's my answer. So back to you, Adrian.
Yes, Johnny hits Jazz face, right? I wish I could turn back the clock.
That is so. I did not like that group.
Okay. Well,
Anyway,
learning lesson.
so back to you. What career move do you wish you had made differently?
And this is interesting because in a Gwyneth Paltrow sliding door universe, multiverse, I'm just wondering whether or not my first job was in Shell. I was there for quite a while, and I was wondering whether or not leaving Shell was a good idea, because I left Shell to do my own business, and it was a tough grind for 3 years before I went back to corporate again. And I was wondering, what would have happened if I hadn't left corporate and I just stuck it out and did my grinding and hustling there. So I don't know whether it's a good or a bad thing if I stuck or I left. So I always wondered, what if? But I'm happy where I am today. So one of the things I could, if I could have a crystal ball to look into an alternate dimension, what would have happened if I stayed there? Would I have been some boring, stuffy senior oil executive somewhere? Or would I be tremendously happy there, or would I be tremendously unhappy there? But what's the point, right? It doesn't.
Okay, active listening hat is on.
Yeah.
You did not answer the question.
So okay.
What career move do you wish you had made differently? You kind of think you're kind of prevaricating and you're not giving me a straight answer.
So tough interviewer, see. So I don't know. Would I have made differently to resign? Answer is probably no. I like the outcome. But one thing I really wanted to find out if I had to make differently, career decision I had to take differently was, should I have started career agility in 2015 earlier than where I was when we started in 2017? So after headhunting straight should I have started a career agility earlier? So would I have, rather than join another company to learn? Because
you're not answering the question again.
I don't
because
know.
You're not answering the question. The question was again, to all our listeners and our viewers out there, looking back is healthy only if you want to utilize that as a platform for launch or leverage. Looking back and then figuring out, and then maybe there was a regret and go, I think that was something I could have learned from, and then, or if you keep thinking what ifs, guys, what ifs they're not healthy. They're not healthy. I get a lot of what if questions.
Yeah. Okay. So the straight answer to this is no. There's none.
There you go. Great. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Confession.
I loved where I am today, and honestly, my daughter asked me that question. If you could turn back time, would you have done anything differently? And my answer was that yes, I would. If I could turn back time, I would have taken the same steps I would have taken to where I am today. But what I would have done differently is I would have enjoyed the moment more.
Right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are in the middle of a busy period and we don't take time to sort of appreciate what we have. Yeah. I know it's so cliche.
But it's so hard to do, right?
If I could turn back time, I'd buy some Bitcoin and then I would quit. But there you go. Never mind. I have a very low risk profile.
Don't get me started on Bitcoin. Okay, never mind. Anyway, the story. My son back then when he was in secondary school. Dad, Bitcoin. You should buy Bitcoin. That's only $800. Dad, you should buy. I say, what rubbish. Okay, anyway, what do you know, dumb kid? Stupid kid. So anyway, okay. Next question is this. Now I want to find out, what would be your dream job?
I would love to have a bakery business, but I know physically it's just impossible. And I also am very aware that baking for fun and baking for a reason
for revenue
is not the same. And sometimes what we see on camera, right? Like what was that Carlos Bakery? So fun. I love building 3D cakes. So much fun.
Oh wow!
And I do humongous. I mean, I've done 3-tier cakes, with a theme.
Okay.
All covered with fondant and everything. And I really like having a physical output.
Oh.
So to see it, and then sometimes people go like, "Wow, gosh, your cakes are beautiful," but isn't it painful to see it cut?
Yeah.
No. I want everyone to eat it and go, "Wow, that your cake was amazing." And there was one time when I was baking and I brought a banana chocolate cake to the office, and one of our consultants, who was one of those similar floater, came into the room and said, "Ziyan, this is the best banana cake I've ever had."
So okay.
It was amazing. Seriously, it's
when
my dream
was the
job.
last time you baked?
It was a long time ago. I have to give up the ghost because no one's eating it. My family members are gluten, dairy, and egg intolerant. They're not allergic, but everyone's intolerant. So dairy makes us have issues with the tummy, and then we start breaking out and all that. And I've tried gluten-free and vegan baking. It's not the same. But again, at one point, I had a career. Almost, I could have, because I had an assignment to teach baking classes, which I also enjoyed. Okay. Really fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I was helping lots of people with the squeezing the bags and doing all these flowers and literally the decorating aspect of baking. is one of the funnest things. I was doing Hermes handbags.
Oh,
I was
wow.
making huge, just wonderful things. And shout out to Rose Barenbaum, the Cake Bible.
Oh, okay.
Please,
I have no idea what all
please,
this is about. So
she's done so many chemistry tests
Okay.
to figure out the best ones. And I'm going to say now, no one has her wisdom.
Okay.
So anyway, the Cake Bible. That would have been my dream job, but I know it's a ghost I have
it's
to
a
give
dream.
up.
It's a dream.
It is
job.
okay
That's
to
always-
dream.
Yep. That's always
And
a dream.
I have
What's-
an artistic outlet somewhere else. Okay, Adrian, what's your dream job? Did you hear my voice change when I told that story?
Yes.
You know what? Another colleague who's also a coach, she told me your voice changes, your
Yeah, your
face changes.
inflection,
And then she said, you should absolutely go there. And I'm like, yeah, well, I wish. So, Adrian, back to you. What is your dream job?
That's fun. Though. Crazy. Okay, dream job totally left of field. Okay,
We're allowed.
I want to be a tour guide in Singapore. I just want to be a tour guide. Let me tell you why.
I've heard this story.
Yeah, I
before.
know, it's so fun, right? Because we all went in Scotland and we were going on not the ghost tour because I'm terrified of ghosts. So, but this tour guide over there, this young lady, and she was telling us stories after stories. It was so captivating and so amazing. And I said, yeah, I could do that in Singapore, that would be fun. So if I had a dream job, maybe someday after I retired from all the career coaching and hang up my coaching whistle and everything, maybe I should do a food tour or, a Marina Bay tour and just guide people along. And I love sharing stories and I love meeting people. And I think that's a really exciting thing to do. So that's been my dream job one day. As I said, it will not pay the bills, okay? But you never know. Someday I just might do it. But I need a license for it. Maybe I should use my Skills Future courses program and just to sign up for one. I don't know. Anyone out there running a tour agency? Maybe you can hire me. Where do I send my CV to?
That's a fun story, and I can see you doing it because every day is going to be different. Every person you meet will be different, and that's fun.
Actually, the other fun stuff is I have a neighbor. He is a tour guide. He brings people up to Finland, to all the various places. And imagine being paid to travel. It's like
And I think there is something in there for you. I can see it.
yeah, right.
I think you should.
so
You should
fun.
absolutely explore it. But there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So that's my dream job, to be a tour guide. And but on the topic of dream job, we are on radio every other week, right? And I realized something. Actually, I've always wanted to be one of my dream jobs, which I've actually achieved, is to be a radio host. And I didn't realize this, but I just remembered when I was 12, I actually signed up with Caldecott Productions. They had a audition, and I actually auditioned to be a DJ when I was in primary 6. I still remember. I just only recently remembered.
Yeah, there you go.
So now, that's why every Thursday morning at the radio station on Kiss 92, I'm having a ball of a time. It's just fun.
Good for you.
There. So
Excellent.
dream job, yeah, that one dream job achieved. Not full time, but achieved. But right now, being a career consultant, career coach, career advisory, this is my dream job. So I'm living the dream. We are both living the dream. Second last question: what's the toughest job on earth?
That's an easy one. My answer is being a parent. When kid one came along, I was like, whoa, my world is different now. I see the world differently. I developed empathy that I never knew I had. Rolling my eyes here.
Patience as well, right?
No. I also discovered my diaphragm because I started scolding the kids a lot more, and I found a voice. But seriously, it is tough. It's thankless. There's no compensation. I mean, no monetary compensation.
It's
that-
reverse. Instead of spending money on the kids.
But I wouldn't change it for anything. I am melancholic, as I said in our first episode, because my kids are empty nesting and they're going on and they're spreading their wings, and I just want to help them fly. Yeah, so that's the toughest job on earth. What about you?
I think being my dietitian, if you were to, I think that's going to be the toughest
Naughty
job.
answer.
I eat anything and everything. I cannot stop eating. Or being my gym
There
instructor.
was a video clip you posted of you plucking the leaf off your garden and putting it straight into your mouth.
Organic.
And my first response to that was, holy crap, I hope there are no little friends who left little
Gifts.
or
But
the big one that flies and drops things into your garden.
I
I'm
know.
like, oh, good God. You know,
Edible
my
gut.
comment was like, Adrian, I
gut.
hope you wash that
No, I
first.
didn't. It's organic. You got to take it all. Bacteria and all.
Oh,
poop
wait,
and all.
so no dream job to be a gardener?
No.
Okay.
It's a
that
dream
was
hobby.
good.
It's a hobby.
It's
not
a
a
hobby.
Job, but not a job.
Just like my paintings.
Yeah. No, I think the toughest job in the world is actually to be a teacher nowadays.
That's a tough one.
That's a real tough one.
Yeah,
I think it's a
yeah.
real calling.
Yeah.
And it's not just having to teach snowflake kids. It's having to handle millennial parents.
Yeah, I agree. And when my
Tough job.
kids,
So for all teachers out there, salute
out
to you.
to
Shout
you.
out. It's amazing. Keep what you're doing. So, last question. What career advice would you give a 21-year-old you?
the 21-year-old me was abrasive, snarky, smart alecky, and was not necessarily the most receptive.
Yeah,
to
I knew
any
the
advice.
21-year-old you.
So no. I it doesn't matter if I had something to tell her. I
No,
don't
you know what
if
this reminds me
I don't
of?
know if she would ever
You know what?
taken on the
You know what this
advice.
reminds me of?
You keep interrupting
No,
me.
sorry, I'm gonna tell you. You know what this reminds me of? Okay, it's because it reminds me of that scene in Back to the Future when Biff trying to go back with the almanac to the young Biff and say, look, buy.
But the young Biff is not going to listen.
Yeah, he
to
said,
the
no,
old-
what stupid old man, you shut up.
It's like
Do
Loki
you think
as
you'll be
well.
like that?
It's a Loki as well.
You think
right?
you'll have
If you think-
scolded your older you and go, shut up, I know what I want.
No, because the older me has all these tools to influence
Ah,
and manipulate
okay.
and change and help the younger me see it. I think maybe that would work. But I don't like dwelling on the past.
Yeah.
It just makes me unhappy. Because there are things that maybe could have been better if my parents were more like, inclusive or more engaging or were less stuck in
yeah,
their
no, what
ways
if,
and
what you said,
so let's
right?
not go there.
Yeah.
But since you asked the question, so what career advice would you have given your 21-year-old self?
First, buy Google, buy Apple shares, buy Google shares. After that, buy Bitcoin. And that's only advice I would give myself. And that's only career advice. It's like, so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and again, what's the purpose of looking back?
Yeah.
If it helps you look forward, great. But again, try not to dwell so much. So
Here's,
I don't want
here's
to
an
dwell on
extension
this.
of the question, okay, which is a bit more like what you said. There's no point looking back and going, I wish I knew this. Okay, now, my question to you is this: what would the 60-year-old Yen tell the Yen of today?
50-year-old, 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Good job, my friend. You did your best. And I was talking to the kids about a parent report card.
Oh wow,
They're all giving me, they're giving me good grades.
strips. Okay, it's okay.
So they're giving me good grades. And notice, guys,
So you're winning.
that my
So you're winning.
answer has got nothing to do with work.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the family and why are we doing this? What for? What's the purpose? So if anything, I've already projected myself at 60
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking to the 50-year-old me today. I am still looking for my downshift strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got career agility, but I need something else. So I'm painting.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I could run baking classes again. We'll see. There we go. Back to you. So the 60-year-old Adrian to the 51-year-old
No,
Adrian.
knowing my luck, it might actually be buy Bitcoin as well. So
No, you're not giving me an answer. That's a cop-out. Guys, I can spot BS a mile away.
yeah, she does. I would say, to me, career advice. Okay, what advice? Career advice. If it's career advice, is I think you did a good move going out on your own,
Yeah.
and the career advice would be continue building that legacy of people that you are helping along the way.
Yeah.
Increase that pool of people that you've helped, and grow it, because there's a multiplier effect.
Yes. That's
So
a good one.
I think that's
So it's not advice. It's keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going. The other advice I would tell myself is probably get yourself fit and healthy again.
The advice is on this cup.
Yeah,
Keep calm.
Keep calm and career on. And I think the other thing is also non-career advice. Buy Bitcoin. No, non-career advice is stay healthy.
Yeah.
Keep up the cadence. Stay healthy.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Take your vitamins. Put your sunscreen. And I think that's the big thing.
Stay healthy.
Yeah.
Already doing it. Don't need advice.
Don't need advice, right? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope that sharing has been illuminating.
Illuminating. No, it's been fun and
We're
cathartic
human.
as well.
We don't have the monopoly on all the wisdom, but
Yeah.
we've done quite a few. We've done enough cases to be able to share some good ideas and tools to our listeners and our viewers and our clients.
And if you have any career questions, reach out to us, info@careeragility.org, or just jump into our website and just WhatsApp us. We are at www.careeragility.org. And signing out, it's Adrian here.
Take care.
And
Happy
have a
Friday.
great weekend. Take care, guys. Bye.